You hatch blind. The nest is tiny. There are 2 chicks in here, 2 lives already needing more than this little nest can hold. You don't know what a flower is. You don't know what flight is. You don't know what kind of animal you are. You know warmth, then cold, then your mother's shadow, then food. And when the food stops coming, the panic starts. Your mother can't stay. She feeds you, then leaves, comes back, feeds you, then leaves again. Not because she don't care, because a hummingbird body burns through fuel too fast to sit still for long. She has to feed herself. Then she has to feed you. You don't understand any of that. You understand hunger. That's the first thing about being a hummingbird. There is no spare. No spare food, spare heat, spare hour, and no second body waiting underneath this one if it fails. Skip forward. Feathers are coming in. The nest is getting tight. The world outside is no longer just warmth and shadow. It is leaves, light, air, distance. You climb to the rim. Below you is empty space. In front of you, your mother hangs beside a flower. She don't land. She stops in the air. Then she pulls back and does it again. She isn't explaining. She don't have time to explain. She's teaching you by surviving in front of you. So you try. At first, you are terrible. Your body jerks forward. The flower is in the wrong place. The air don't hold you the way it held her. You miss. You try again. You drift. You wobble. You hit the flower wrong. But a hummingbird don't get a long, gentle learning curve. You either figure it out or you run out. Then one attempt works. You hold yourself in front of the flower. Not perfectly, not for long, but long enough. The nectar hits your tongue. For 1 second, the panic stops. Then it comes back. That is the second thing about being a hummingbird. Relief never lasts. Skip forward. Now you know what flowers are. They are payments. Hovering costs, turning costs, staying warm costs, being alive costs. So you don't visit flowers like something enjoying the garden. You work them. Your tongue is a tiny straw. It loads nectar fast because slow feeding would cost too much. Every stop has to matter. Every flower is a small payment against a body that keeps charging interest. And the bill never stops coming. A hummingbird may need fuel every 10 to 15 minutes while it's awake. Not because it's greedy, because the body is always burning. There is no spare. So you learn the route, which flowers were good, which ones were empty, which ones should be ready again. You're not wandering through beauty. You are keeping appointments. That is why you are angry. People see something tiny and bright and expect it to be gentle. But another hummingbird near your flower isn't company. It is subtraction. A flower is sugar. Sugar is flight. Flight is survival. So you chase. You chase birds your own size. You dive at things much bigger than you should. You defend a patch of blossoms like your life depends on it. Sometimes it does. From the outside, it looks ridiculous. A tiny bird acting furious at the world. From inside the body, it is simple. You're not being dramatic. You're doing math. There is no spare. Skip forward. The day is ending. The flowers are closing. The air is cooling. The light is leaving. And you're still expensive. A body like this can't stay fully on all night. There isn't enough fuel for that. So your body solves the problem. It lowers itself. This is torpor. Your temperature drops and your heart slows. Almost everything shuts down. The body that moved like a spark in daylight becomes a cold shape on a branch. If someone found you now, they might think you were dead. You're not dead. You are reduced. That's the third thing about being a hummingbird. You don't survive with strength. You survive by becoming less. Skip forward. Morning again. The branch under your feet is cold, but you are colder. Before you can feed, before you can fly, before you can do anything useful, you have to turn yourself back on. So you shiver. Your muscles fire to make heat. That burns energy. Your stomach is empty. The first thing you do today costs fuel that you don't have yet. The day has barely started and you're already behind. Then, as soon as your wings are warm enough, you go to the nearest flower. Not because it's beautiful, because it's first. That's how your mornings begin. Not rested, not ready, behind. Skip forward. The season changes. The flowers that carried you all summer are not enough anymore. Something inside your body starts demanding more than the next drink. You eat harder, past comfort, past what looks reasonable, past what a creature this small should be able to carry. Fat builds under your skin. For most animals, fat is extra. For you, it is distance, because soon there will be a stretch of the world with no flowers at all. Then the coast appears. Ahead of you is the Gulf of Mexico. No branch, no feeder, no flower, and no place to stop. Just open water. If you are a ruby-throated hummingbird, the crossing can be around 500 miles. You don't know what 500 miles means. You don't know what it means to fly through the night with nothing below you. You know one thing: go. So you leave land. Hour after hour, every wing beat spends what the last week stored. The body that already had no spare now has even less. If the wind helps, you make it. If it turns against you, you don't. The difference isn't always strength. Sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's luck. And if you do make it, you don't arrive like a hero. You arrive empty. Then you find the nearest flower. Even after crossing open water, the body don't care what you just survived. Skip forward. You survive. Maybe one season, maybe more than one. Definitely enough nights spent almost gone. And now the story changes shape. Now you are female. Now you build the nest. A tiny cup hidden in leaves. Then you lay 2 eggs. Soon there are 2 chicks inside. Blind, helpless, exactly like you were. And now the same cost that once belonged only to your body belongs to theirs too. You leave, feed, return, leave again, and repeat. That may be the most brutal part of all. Being a hummingbird never gets cheaper. It only changes who is paying. Now you pay in flowers carried back to 2 open mouths that do not understand any of it yet. Skip forward. That's what people miss when they look at hummingbirds. They see color, speed, a tiny beautiful jewel in the garden. And none of that is wrong. But the full story is harsher than that. A hummingbird isn't just beautiful, it is brutally expensive. Expensive to warm, feed, to hold in the air, to shut down, to restart, and to carry over open water. That is why being a hummingbird is brutal. Not because the bird is weak, because the bird is exact. Nothing is extra. The wings, tongue, memory, the anger, torpor, migration, even the nest. All of it exists because a body this small has almost no room for mistakes. And that may be the real miracle. Not that a hummingbird can hover, not that it can fly backward, not even that it can cross open water in the dark. It is that a life this expensive exists at all. Tomorrow morning, before the light reaches the leaves, a hummingbird will be hanging on a branch and will look almost gone. Then it will shiver, warm, and fly to the nearest flower, and hopefully even your feeder. And somewhere in a nest smaller than a teacup, 2 blind chicks will learn the first law of being what they are. If you love animals and want to support a channel that loves them too, subscribe and help us grow this little community.